Welcome, viewer, to the first devlog for Thorn. Now, you might see in my channel that there's some content revolving around this project, Thorn, in my channel, but this is the first devlog properly. I was working on a dev recap series to catch everyone up to where I am in the project right now, and this is just the first devlog where I'm going to be talking about my progress on the game in real time, sort of. Give you a glimpse, like weekly, hopefully, into what's going on in the project and how it's looking. So, what is Thorn? What even is Thorn? You might be wondering. Well, Thorn is a project I've started. It's a metroidvania, which means that it's a game in the vein of Metroid or Castlevania, in case you don't know. There's a surprising number of people who don't know exactly what that means. And if you haven't played those games, it's just a game wherein you play as this one character, Rose, and you'll go around a pretty big map, and go through platforming challenges. It's an action adventure game, and you use your various capabilities in order to get around the map and progress through the game. So, the main like difference between this game and other Metroidvania titles, or even other like just platformers and action games in general, is that I like to refer to this game as a combination, a melding between a Metroidvania and like a fighter or a beat 'em up, where the player character Rose, she only has this one weapon. I'll show you how it works right now. So this is Rose. She's a she's a girl with a giant fan as her weapon. And she uses it to fight the baddies. That's an awkward little second animation. I'm still working on the kinks. But she uses this fan to fight the baddies and win the game. As you can see though, the fan has this property, one of many properties, that boosts her forward on certain attacks. You can use it in the air as well. It's varied uses. And so we can use this fan. We can use this fan in order to complete certain challenges. So, for instance, I'll show you this one right here. You see this hole here? I currently don't have it implemented because I changed around some stuff. But basically, you can do stuff like this. You can hop right over this hole with Rose's moves, and this can be expanded upon even further. So first, let's take care of this guy. This is our first enemy. He'll look at us and try to attack us and stuff. So Rose, with her giant fan, missed him apparently. There we go. I killed him, and also I moved the back here. I don't know if you noticed this, but I moved these platforms in the back here. So with this fan, with Rose's fan, you can use it in various ways to get around the map. And I want that to be the main focus of this game, kind of. Like, you use Rose's fan in order to complete various challenges, whether it be in combat or for destroying her, for getting through certain stages. So that's really the main push of this game. And I want this to be an intricate, I want this to be, I want to push this idea as far as I can possibly push it in a game of this scope. So like, currently I have these basic enemies that just die in one hit. There are some kinks to be worked out with, like, how like the collision and all that stuff. But basically, in the final iteration of the game, I want there to be various enemies that'll have various weaknesses and various strengths that you can play around with Rose's weapons. Now, Rose's weapon is just her fan, but her fan has 3 kinds of attacks. it has the slashing attacks you've seen, and it has two other types of attacks that haven't been quite implemented yet. So they're all the attacks are color coded. As you can see, like the slash, like these slash sorts of effects are blue slashes. She'll also have a bash attack that'll be colored red, and a pierce attack which will be colored yellow. And so you can kind of imagine there can be different kinds of enemies that correlate to these different kinds of weaknesses, susceptibilities to the various attacks that Rose can employ. So, for instance, you can have perhaps an enemy with a distinct yellow weak spot, maybe a chink in some sort of armor, or maybe like a soft spot on their bodies, as like, these are bugs. Maybe they have a soft underbelly of some sort, things like that. And you can exploit those weaknesses using appropriate attacks. I got this idea primarily from Metroid Prime, wherein like I think Metroid Prime was the first time I actually saw this. But there are various enemies in that game. After you reach the late game, you have a bunch of different kinds of beams, right? You have the lava beam, you have the ice beam, so on and so forth, and each of them are very distinctly colored. And towards the end of the game, you start facing enemies that are susceptible to one of those types of beams. Like the red enemies are susceptible to fire, and so on and so forth. So that's where I got this idea, but I want to expand upon it, where not only are the enemies weak against those attacks, but hitting those ticks, exploiting those weaknesses, grants you additional gameplay, essentially. So let's say you have a big beefy target. Let's say you have a kind of a giant towering hollow suit of armor, like a ghost armor sort of deal. And he has a red shield. So if you use your bash attack on his red shield, it'll stagger him and open him up. When he opens up his after you hit him with a bash attack, he opens up and reveals that the inside of his armor has like a giant, like maybe like a blue slash sort of going down it, like showing a weak spot. So then you hit the slash button and you attack using the slash attack. Now, an important part of these combos is that in addition to, as I said before, in addition to doing damage, they also move Rose around. So the resulting slash, and because you did the bash first, the resulting slash both propels Rose into the air in front of this enemy, and also hits him in that weak spot, which perhaps it hits that weak spot, and so then he gets weakened, and so maybe he falls to one knee, and he reveals that maybe the interior of his helmet somewhat, which has a sort of like yellow glow to it or something. And that's maybe like his final weak spot, wherein if you then try to do a pierce attack on him from this unique angle that you were able to get from using this combo, you then kill him in one fell swoop. That's the sort of gameplay I want to try to reach by the end of the game, and it's the kind of gameplay I want to try to encourage throughout the game. Currently, I don't currently have any sort of enemy to test this stuff out on in those ways, but I think I'm explaining it correctly. I think you can see where I could be coming from, possibly, with what I'm saying. And as you can see, you can do really cool stuff. Like I just activated my slash in the air to move both of these while in the air, and you can dodge shit. It's really cool. I'm liking where I'm going with this so far. Though, as you just saw, I was kind of floating in the air there. Like I said, they are kinks to fix. So, that's the kind of game I'm trying to create with this project. And I've already got a lot of this already thought out and implemented. I just gotta properly implement all these ideas. And I think I have the groundwork to do that. And all I really ask of anyone, and I don't want to ask things of anyone really, but I just if this seems like the kind of thing, if anything I just said jives with you, go ahead and follow the production of this game. I'm gonna take you through. So far, you've seen me go through some of the level. I'm gonna take you through the whole thing. In the video, I might be done actually with it, but yeah. As you can see, I can go through different platforms and stuff, fight different enemies. I can beat them to the punch, as it were, with my attacks, or I could just ignore them if I so choose, if I've avoided them. And yeah, there's more to the level though. This part is empty because I'm still implementing it, but I can explain parts of the level here. So this is actually, if I go out of this, this is actually a giant tree. You probably noticed this, just based on the shape of it. It's a giant tree, but it's dead and rotted. That's what that purple stuff is, this like pinkish stuff. That's like, it's like mold and rot that is eating the tree from the inside out, and these bugs are also eating the tree. They're called wood eaters. They eat the wood, and they're very aggressive. They're very aggressive creatures. Think like termites or ants. And so this is like the stump of the tree. The rest of the tree is over here and it's fallen over. And that is where the rest of the level is, of course. This is kind of the tutorial area where I'm just trying to teach you the basics, which is why I had, let me just restart. Before anything, this is similar to like Hollow Knight, where I have this like barricade, and it's like a blue barricade. And when you use your attacks, you should be able to notice that like these attacks are blue. So you should be able to intuit that the blue attacks are what you need to use here. And you learn stuff like this, where you can use your attack to hop over these little gaps. Currently the dash goes a bit too far, but you know, tweaking. Then you meet this first enemy, and he's also blue, reinforcing that color coordination with the attacks and stuff. Let's give him what for. And I've placed these things in this room such that I want you to always be able to hit these things, basically. No matter where you attack from, basically, to kill that guy, I want you to be able to hit these two things and see that they move around. And when you move them out correctly, you'll be able to progress. Very basic stuff. Darn. And there you saw my old sprite for this character, because this is a newer sprite. And I can just ignore enemies as I see fit, and just get through the stage. So I just want to try to encourage these things in the player as I first begin this development. And these things, of course, are dangerous. They're like splinters. I don't think I did a great job communicating that they're splinters, but you know, it's okay. Yeah. And that basically covers what I will call the beginning, where I'm starting at with this project properly. Because this month, I'm basically trying to push this game as hard as I physically can in order to try to produce something that resembles a demo by the end of 30 days. And the 30 days started actually a week ago, or so. So the end of this time is January 20th, and by January 20th, I want this to have reached a level where like people are playing it, people are telling me how it feels, people are impressed or not impressed. You know, you get the point. Here's another test area where like I can't get over here with just normal jumps. By the way, so another test area where hop. I use the mid-air attack in order to hop over here. That's the last like challenge that is implemented though. In any case, I hope that you enjoyed this little peek into Roseanne Thorn. I love this project. It's no stretch to say that it's like my baby. It's exciting. I'm loving working on it, and I hope that some of you stick around and follow the development here, because I want to make something special, and I hope that people can enjoy it. That's it for this one. If you want to hit me up on Discord, I have a Discord link below. I'm not gonna shill all my content here just yet. But you know, you can hit me up on Discord. We're starting a little community. We have some guys in there already. So if you wanna talk about the game or talk about other games, or if you think if you think you have advice that you want to give me, that's the best way to reach me because I'm always looking at it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next piece of content, which hopefully will happen soon. See ya.